Good evening, Tiger fans. Welcome to Hardin County High School basketball. Once again, coming to you from Michaela Welch Gymnasium here in Savannah, Tennessee. Bill Sharp along with Steve Carnell as we are entertaining some visitors from south of the border tonight as Killen is sending us their school there, the well, the Lions from
Brooks.
Brooks.
Yeah.
Okay, I lost it for a second. I don't recall ever seeing them play here. Steve says that they came maybe a couple of years ago when I was out, but this is going to be a really good night of interstate basketball as the Alabama rules meet Tennessee rules, and the girls and guys are going to put it on the floor here for us in a few minutes, and it should be a really good opportunity for the Lady Tigers to strike gold here for the first time tonight. And, of course, the guys want to continue their win after the other evening and see if they can't keep that going. So, big night in store for the Tigers.
Yeah, it is, and the ladies trying to get their first win tonight, and they got a good opportunity here. Now, the lady Lions from Brooks, they haven't been here. It was a boys' game only. I think it was in 2020 in the COVID year, and then I think maybe the next year after that when you were out. But they have been here before, but it is the first night for the ladies.
All right, so we've got basketball action coming your way. The introduction to starting lineups is right upon us. We'll take a word or two from our sponsors. We'll come back with tonight's tip-off. Stay here with us on K93. The starting lineups are being introduced here for the Lions, and we didn't get back on in time to give you their lineups. We'll give those to you as soon as the Tigers finish up, as the lights have come down as normally they do, and Tiger student section have their phone lights on, ablazing, and here come the Lady Tigers. 0-2 on the season, looking for a big victory tonight. Clara Callahan will be the first starter up for the Lady Tigers. And then Bailey Gamble will be starting. Bailey is a senior. And Ashton Davis, a senior. and then Haley Hardin, a senior. And last but not least, Neely Barrier, a junior. So those are your 5 starters. Head coach Brandon Kirk, assistant coaches Ryan Geyer and Rob Parson. And we'll be underway here in just a moment. The 5 starters for Brooks are J.M. Garner, Anna Holt, Mackenzie Coffey, Emily Pettis, and Darcy Brody. So they are dressed in black with orange trim. Tigers in home white with maroon. Ashton Davis will be jumping center, and she'll be squared off against Anna Holt. Holt giving up, I think, a couple of inches on this measurement here. The gymnasium stands beginning to fill up. The tap's going to be controlled by the Tigers. Into the forecourt comes Hardin to Davis on the right side now to Barrier. Driving in the lane, putting up a shot. It's Davis. She just took it straight to the glass. And the Tigers draw first blood and lead 2-0. Full court pressure being put on. Double team in the backcourt. Ball's loose in the corner. They're going to have to work to get this one over in 10 seconds. They're still working with it. Finally, get it into the forecourt to Stevenson. Down on the baseline. Jumper is off, no good. Rebound taken down by Hardin. Hardin dribbles into the forecourt. Back outside now to Barrier. Barrier stops. Free throw line. Puts up a jumper. It's off, no good. Rebound taken down by Brody. Brody across the timeline. On the right side now to Brody. To Stevenson. Now as the ball's loose in the lane, picked up by Davis, and the Tigers are running back on the other end. Davis to Gamble in the corner. Banked a three-pointer. Nice shot by Bailey Gamble, as she gives the Tigers a 5-point lead here with 6:51 left to go, first period. Inbound, stolen away, batted away by Hardin over, and now a three-pointer off the right side by Barriers, off no good. Struggle for the rebound, and let's see who's going to come up with it. It's a held ball. They're going to give it to the Lions. So we got the Lions and the Tigers tonight, as the Tigers take the early 5-0 lead. Across the timeline goes Brody. Down on the baseline, she'll almost walk it out of bounds, but lose it back in, but it's picked up by Hardin. She's running the floor all the way into the paint. Banks it, got it, yes. Coast to coast by Haley Hardin. She picks up 2 at 7-0. There's timeout on the floor. Timeout Lions. We'll take a 30-second pause, and we'll come right back after this. Tigers go to full court defense, and they are forcing the Lions to work it up the floor. Brody with it gets across the timeline. Then it's a traveling call on her offensive end. The Tigers will get it on the floor mistake, and with 7-0 to lead, they'll come across the line with Barrier dribbling to the right side, drives, puts it off the glass, off no good. Callahan had it, struggles for it. Gets the handle in the corner, takes a 2 just inside the 3 lines, off no good. Rebound taken down by the Lions. Now there's a whistle and a foul that's going to be called, and it's going to be on Barrier. Unless somebody came from somewhere else, because I didn't see anyone else. So Barrier picks up the first foul of the game, and the Lions take it out backcourt. 5:45 left to go first period. Tigers up 7-0. Across the timeline to get it down on the base. I thought that was a travel. It's going to be stripped away there by Hardin. Hardin's off to the races. She doesn't have the number, so she'll back it up and get it out to Barrier, who gets it to Davis. Davis drives in the lane, kicks it, gets a hold of it, puts a shot up short. Rebound Lines. Coming out is Pettis. In the forecourt, drives, puts the shot up, won't go. Rebound still controlled by the Lions out on the left wing. Now with it is Stevenson. Here's a driving layup that's up, no good. Rebound still loose, finally picked up by Callahan. Now to Davis. Davis goes almost halfway down the post, shuffles it back outside. Three-pointer there by Gamble's no good. Rebound is outside, and now to Davis. Davis underneath. Callahan open, scores. Nice feed by Davis. Callahan picks up the deuce. It's 9-0. Full court pressure at midcourt. With it is Brody. Here's a long three. Almost banked it home, but it came off the rim. Picked up loose ball in the circle there by Hardin. Hardin into the forecourt. Stops, goes to Davis, and Tigers set up shop. Now Davis tries, takes it to glass. He's giving the open shot. Missed it. Rebound. Still loose ball. It's going to be a held ball. That will be Tiger basketball, if my memory serves. And now I can see the red light on the score bench, so I should have known that. Indeed, it will be Tiger basketball with Neely Barrier inbounding. Just under half of the quarter's gone. Pass inside to Davis. Davis with an easy two. Tigers lead is 11-0. Lions come up the floor driving and rimmed it out. That was Garner. Missed the shot. Rebound Davis over to Barrier. Barrier underneath, driving in for a layup, but missing it is Stanfield, who just checked into the game. Now there's a whistle and a traveling call on the Tigers, and they will give it up. Gamble has sat down, and Mackenzie Stanfield has checked in. Here's a loose ball on the right side. Is Hardin was involved defensively there. It goes out of bounds. They're going to give it to the Tigers. Good defense. Tigers come back now wanting some more. Up 11-0. Barrier drives in the lane, finds Callahan. She spins, she fires, she scores. Clara Callahan gets her fourth point, and the Tigers are up 13-0. Across the timeline comes Pettis. Down on the baseline, here's a jumper. It's going to be off, no good. Rebound taken down by Barrier. Barrier, midcourt to Davis. Down in the corner. With it is Stanfield. Stanfield tries to bounce pass it underneath to Callahan. There's a whistle and a foul call. J.K. Heaton is going to pick up the first foul as a substitute for. And now there's a wholesale substitution for the Lady Tigers. In comes Riley Strickland. In comes Molly Pierce. In comes McKaylee Stanfield. And we'll get the rest of those in just a second. Here's a driving layup that is put up by Pierce. It's off, no good. Gets her own rebound. Pushes it back outside. With it Strickland for a moment. Now driving around. Throwing up the layup on the right side and hitting it is McKaylee Stanfield. And I think that McKenzie's on there too, but I can't confirm it yet until I find her. But the Lions are now on the offensive end. They're down 15-0. And now Strickland is going to pick up Hayden. Hayden is going to be fouled, and it looks like the foul is going to be on Riley Strickland, the sophomore. .220 left to go first, 16-0, or 15-0. In Mannering with the basketball and a substitute for the Lions. Now Baxter Back to Manham. Over in the right corner. And three-pointer is put up from there. It's off no good. Struggle for the rebound. This is inevitable as a loose ball. I said that. I mean, as a hell ball, but it's going to be squirts out, and all of a sudden the Lions are back in business. They pass down on the baseline. Here's a steal. And the steal is going to be made by Katie Atkins. Atkins gets it over now to Strickland across the timeline. Now they're going to call carrying the ball. You don't see that call very often. And I've seen a lot of them do it and get away with it. But working with it now are the Lions. They put up a shot on the right side. It's no good. Rebound taken down. That's Strickland out to Pierce, down, and a shot's off no good there by Stanfield. Driving in. Back outside. Strickland for three. No good. Now a lob underneath. With it in the paint. Putting off a shot and scoring is Katie Atkins. She picks up a deuce underneath. She's officially on the scoreboard, and it's 17-0. We're under a minute to go here in the first period. Here's a pass inside. Driving layup's going to be off no good. Rebound taken down by the Tigers, and with it is Pierce. All the way to the end line and back outside is Strickland. Back to Strickland, giving a three, doesn't take it. Looks inside, gets it to Pierce. Pierce, little hook shot's off, no good. And they're going to call her for traveling to boot, and it will be Lion basketball with 27 seconds remaining. Hope you're all set for a nice Thanksgiving. School out all week this week. Driving and getting the first 2 points for the Lions is Shawley. And now on the return trip down the floor, there's a loose ball and a held ball is called. It will be Lion basketball. 9 seconds remaining in the quarter. Inbound goes to Manham. Now a shot with 5 seconds left. No good. Rebound taken down by McKaylee Stanfield, and she'll allow the clock to expire as the first quarter comes to a close. The Lady Tigers lead it 17-2. We'll take a 1-minute timeout, and we'll come right back here. All right, first quarter down, and Tigers up 17-2. It looks like the Lions are overmatched quite a bit here.
Maybe why they made their first trip.
Yeah.
They just sent the boys.
Well, now I looked at their school last night, and I think they've got 500 some odd students in the school, so it's not a very big school, about half our size. Now Tigers bring it down, and Barrier's going to take it to the backboard and lay it up and in. I mean, just pronto. Less than 15 seconds to run off the clock, and she gets a deuce there, and it's 19-2. And the Lions work it down on the baseline. They get it outside now to Baxter. Now pass stolen away. This is going to be stolen by Gamble. Gamble is in the forecourt, goes back to Barrier on the left side now to Davis, now to Hardin on the left wing. Hardin way outside, right next to the student section. Goes on the right-hand dribble towards center court. Stops on the ear of the Tiger. To Gamble on the left wing. Now to Hardin, who's come full circle down in the corner left side. She dribbles right back. You'd think it's a weave. Davis on the left wing. Drives in the circle. Dishes it out. Gamble giving a shot off the left, right. Missed it. Rebound. Callahan, turnaround jumper. No. I thought I was going to go, but Gamble get the rebound. Gets it out now to Barrier. Barrier brings it out to the half-court line. Gets it over now to Hardin. Now to Davis. And they're playing handoff on the right wing. Left side, Gamble now down to Hardin in the corner. Stops. Takes the set shot from three. Gets it. Yes. Nice shot by Haley Hardin, as if she'd done that before. And the Tigers drop back on D with 6:07 left to go, leading 22-2. Now there's a whistle and a substitution made. In comes Stanford. Out comes Gamble. I don't know if the Gamble's been taken out twice tonight. She might be a little under the weather. But maybe they're trying to get some more time for Mackenzie Stanfield too, so who knows. Anyway, Lions work it, splitting a double team, going in, wanting to go up for a shot. Is heading. The ball gets loose, gets through the end line, out of bounds. Now there's timeout by the Tigers. 30 seconds from now, we'll be right back. Tigers lead 22-2. Don't go away. A lot of hospitality as they come north. But Steve's enjoying it because I hadn't heard a word out of him since the game started.
I've been eating ever since the tip.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I'll be with you in just a minute.
I just wondered if maybe you had
no, I still got
zoned out on me.
I got to have a pack of M&Ms left.
The Tigers have the basketball following the timeout, and they're coming down the floor to Davis on the left side. 5:43 left to go. Tigers up by 20. There's Stanfield over to Callahan at the line. She'll dish it off to Davis. Back to Hardin. Down in the corner to Barrier. To Callahan. Stanfield drives. Little shovel hook. It's off. No good. Rebound taken down by Holt. And the Lions on the attack. With it, it's Baxter. She'll pass in, and there's Stanfield in the way of the pass and steals it. Gets it off now to Hardin. Now to Barrier. Barrier working right side. Goes to Hardin over on the right now. Stanfield underneath Hardin. And Barrier given an easy 10-foot shot. Doesn't take it. Instead goes out to Davis. Ashton Davis takes the three. It's no good. Rebound fought for. Barrier ends up with it. Here's Hardin for three. Gets off no good. Rebound. Callahan in the corner. Outside. Tigers eating up clock here. Almost halfway there for the, thought we get a travel on that one, but we didn't get it. Here's a pass underneath to Stanfield. Stanfield catches Callahan. Wide open. She lays it up and in. Tigers cruising right now, 24-2 with just over a quarter left to go here in the first half. And with it is Brody. There's a steal by Stanfield. She gets another one into the forecourt. She will have it stolen back from her by Baxter. Now they're going at it at midcourt, and finally they break free. Mannering is going to be called for traveling. on their action end and give it to the Tigers, leading 24-2. It's been all Tigers and practically no Lions in this contest. On the left side, they go to Molly Pierce, who sneaked into the game a moment ago when I was talking to Steve. And here's Barrier. Now it's a whistle and a traveling call, I'm thinking.
Carried it.
I carried it. That's twice in this quarter. In less than a quarter.
That's kind of a ticky-tack call,
Yeah,
really.
it's freaky. It's freaky. And the Lions are going to throw it out of bounds as they go on the action end. Nope. They're going to say it's touched last by the Tigers. I could swear he pointed in our direction, but I don't swear. So inbounds, Lions underneath right side of the lane. Barry gets a handle on it, or a hand on it. It's loose, and the Lions get it back. They throw up a prayer from the corner. It's off, no good. But they get their own rebound. Back outside now, there's a pushing call. I think that's going to be on Molly Pierce, her first. Pass inbounds as the Lions work it. Just over 3 minutes left to go in the first half. 24-2 in case you just joined us. Lady Tigers have dominated. Pass on the baseline. Lions look it out. Throw it all the way, sort of a desperation pass across the lanes, picked up by a Lion and put up. And the rebound's taken down by Davis. Davis goes down to Pierce on the baseline, and Pierce didn't have time to recover herself and travel with the basketball. That was an awkward pass underneath.
I don't know that she had the basketball long enough to travel.
That's what I was thinking, but you never argue with an official, right? First thing I learned in broadcast, never argue. As Price goes in, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound, Callahan over now to Barrier. Barrier gets it underneath, is going up for the shot is Hannah Miller. Miller into the game for the Lady Tigers. As now we're on the other end, 2:24 left to go, 24-2. Tigers up. Driving into the paint, getting the ball underneath, and they're going to get a jump ball. And that will be Lion basketball. They were headed the other direction. I think everybody sort of assumed it was a traveling situation, but I believe
I thought he called it travel.
I think he switched it and changed his mind after
my gosh.
a little thought. But as the Lions work it from the outside, here's a lob in underneath. Quick shot off the glass, and the side of the rim's no good. Rebound taken down. Strickland gets the outlet pass. Here is Miller on the shot. Shot for three. It's off, no good. Rebound batted out of bounds. Touch last by the Lions. Give it to the Tigers with 1:53. Into Strickland. Strickland for three. A little too hard off the glass. And it's going to be knocked out of bounds on the rebound. And they're going to give it to the Tigers with 1:49 left. Strickland with the inbounds pass. Lobs it under. Turn around jumper. It's off. No good by Atkins. And then a rebound taken down by Pettis. And they work it down in the corner on the offensive end. Crossing the lane from left to right is Garner. Her shot won't go. Loose ball gets kicked out. Another three-pointer off the sides. No good. Now a whistle and a held ball called. This one's going to be for the Tigers. Possession. Into the game comes Kylie Jo Ramsey, a junior. She's a transfer, came in this year. She gets the ball in the lane, moves, and they're going to call her for walking. She got some resistance, turned to pass it, and couldn't get it freed up before she traveled with the basketball. So 24-2, Tigers up. 1:10 left to go in the half, and they drop back on defense. All substitutes on the floor right now, I think, for both teams. driving in, putting up a shot, and scoring for the Lions is number 21, Jan Garner. Tigers move it down the floor. They'll throw it away as for Hannah Miller. She thought that Ramsey was going to be open on the left side, but Ramsey stopped, and she threw it out of bounds into the student section, give it to the Lions with 47 seconds. Seems like we've spent more time in the last 3 minutes of this quarter than we have in the entire game. But a lot of young players getting an opportunity to play, a lot of timeouts. And now there's a whistle and a foul called. And picking up her first foul is McKaylee Stanfield. Team's fourth, no, not a shooting infraction with 33 seconds remaining in the half. Here's the inbounds. It's going to be taken by Brody. Now a collision right at the head of the key, and they go to the floor, jump ball. It will be Lion basketball with 28 seconds. And inbounds is taken by Brody. She will pass it underneath, and the Lion there just will dribble it right out of bounds off her knees. Tigers get it back, 22 seconds. Maybe we'll settle down and go for one shot. Here's a pass. Long lob over in the corner underneath. Here's a shot that's off and no good by Ramsey. Loose ball's out, a three-pointer with 10 seconds. No good. Ramsey with the rebound. Kicks it out. Here's another three-pointer, this time by Miller. Rebound, and Molly Pierce was fighting for it, and I think, I don't know, I'm not sure what they call, but they're giving it to the Tigers with 1.2 seconds remaining. We won't even get a shot off here, I don't think. Nope. And that's the end of the half with the Tigers taking a big lead, 24-4, and that lead's bigger than you think it is. So we will take a pause here for a word from our sponsors. We'll come back with some activity here at halftime. I have a clue what it's going to be, but we should have some fun between now and when the next half starts. So stay with us here on K93, your number one sports station in West Tennessee. All right, Tiger fans, we're back here at McCaleb Welch Gymnasium from the Steve Smith press box. Steve Carnell and I are trying to hold it together for the Lady Tigers. As right now they're up by a score of 24-4 and in the driver's seat against the Brooks High School from Killen, Alabama. You ever been to Killen?
I have not been to Killen, but I know some people from Killen. That is on the other side of Florence, I think.
Yeah, it is. It is.
What is on the west side of Florence?
It's on the east side.
Well,
We're on the west side.
Where are we?
We're on the west side.
I thought we was on the south side. Well, I mean the north side. I knew we've been good with directions.
Well, I knew you were bringing your A game tonight when I saw you, so you're allowed. But so far the Tigers have dominated. Obviously, a much smaller school. Probably don't have the talent pool that they do here in Hardin County. But it hasn't been much of a challenge for the Lady Tigers tonight. Of course, as I said, they needed that elusive first win. And tonight, unless a major collapse occurs that I don't see forthcoming, they will end up going to 1-2 on the season. But lots of opportunities for young players that haven't had much experience to get on the floor and actually have that clock pressure on them that you can't get in practice.
Yeah, in regardless of the talent level or whatever, it's for these girls, it's getting that first win, like you said, getting that kind of feel-good feeling, see what it feels like to win a ball game as we move forward, because there's going to be some tough games down the road. This team is without its leader and four-year starter with Reese.
I was just going to ask you if you heard how Reese's progress is going.
She's still out for a couple of weeks anyway, so we'll see. But that puts a lot of pressure on, like Haley Hardin. She's another starter from last year. But as you look at this team, you got a lot of kids that hadn't played a whole lot of basketball, and only one real starter out there with, like I said, the leader of your team hurt for a couple of weeks. So they're trying to battle some things, but tonight they're playing well. They're moving the ball well. They've shot the ball pretty well. We've been aggressive on both ends of the floor, and we're getting to play a lot of people too. That means a lot. No
doubt. As don't forget the guys will hit the floor immediately after tonight's game, so we will be facing the Lions and on the boys in.
Well, that game, the last couple of times that they've been here, if I remember correctly, has been real competitive. And I was talking with Coach Geyer last Saturday on Sports Talk, and he said they're kind of in between Tishomingo and Lawrence County. So he said they'll be a pretty good team coming in here, and we'll have to play well.
You just about have to do that anytime you turn on the lights. So with 3:38 before the beginning of the second half, we're going to take another pause for a word from the gracious people that make our broadcast possible. I'll come back here with some statistics for the first half, and we'll get set for quarter number 3. Stay with us here on K93. Running down the scoring in the first half, leading scorer for the Lady Tigers is Clara Callahan with 6. She's followed by Ashton Davis, or rather Haley Hardin with 5, Ashton Davis with 4, Bailey Gamble with 3, and Katie Atkins, McKaylee Stanfill, and Neely Barrier all had 2 to give them the 24 points. Garner had 2 for the Lions, and Shawley had 2. And that's the score 24-4 at half. Starting lineup coming out for the Lady Tigers, the same for Brooks. Inbounds to Brody. Brody dribbling outside, guarded by Haley Hardin. Handoff there to Garner. Garner goes head of the key underneath and walking like crazy, but getting away with it. There's a shot off the glass, no good. Rebound taken down by Callahan. Callahan gets it over now to Barrier. Barrier to Hardin. Davis on the left side, crosses the lane. Back outside to Hardin. Hardin takes the 3. Missed it. Rebound, put up and in by Callahan. So Callahan gets the first 2 points of the quarter, and it's 26-4 now. Tigers uncontested on the rebounds. As at the lane is Pettis over on the right side, driving, shot up and good. That one is going to be by Garner. Garner's got 4 on the night now, and it's 26-6. There's a steal at midcourt. Coming back with it and going up for the layup and scoring is Garner. She's now got 6, and you could call it a hot hand now that cut the lead to 18. Now the Tigers work it. They get it to Hardin, drives in, gets the layup, got it. Boy, it took several bounces off the rim, but it knew where to go. And Hardin gets her 7th point on the night. And the Lions dribbled down the floor, and they're double teamed, and Callahan is going to be whistled for a foul way out on the right wing, almost into the Lion bench there. 28-8 now. Here's a steal as Hardin takes it away, dribbles into the forecourt. Spin move, giving the lane to the basket, takes it up, hits the glass, lays it in. Nice play by Haley Hardin. She's got 9 now. I think she could do that just about any time she wanted to. Practically untouched. Brody dribbles, working against Hardin. Hardin tips it away. It's going to be picked up by Davis. Davis running underneath to Gamble. Gamble open for the layup. Won't go. Rebound taken down by the Lions. Coming out is Pettis. Pettis dribbles all the way down, goes underneath. Here's a shot up and good by Stevenson. And in the first 4 minutes of this third quarter, the Lions have scored more points than they did in the entire first half. Davis goes down the floor, takes it straight in the lane, right up against the glass, and just like I said, scored. I think driving on the basket, they don't have a defense for it. 32-10 now. Here's a steal by Callahan. Came out of the pack, got the tip. Gets it out now to Hardin. Hardin in the forecourt on the left side. Drives down to the baseline. Back to Barrier. Barrier in the lane, goes in, hits the one-hander. Nifty move, nice touch on the basketball, and it's 34-10. So even though the Lions have increased their scoring, they have not been able to reduce their deficit. It's now even higher, 24 points. Here's a driving shot. That's off, no good. I don't know how to describe it either.
That was an underhanded scoop.
I've never seen one quite like that. So I don't know what to call it, but it's going to end up in a foul, and I don't know who it's on. But I'm thinking it's going to be on Hardin. I'm going to give her that anyway, just because she probably likes the number 1. And the first shot's off and no good. substitutions. Atkins and Pierce and Stanfield. Second shot is up and good. So Brody gets her first point on the night. Full court pressure, and the Tigers dribble it out of bounds. It will be Lion basketball with 4:35 left to go in the third. Tigers up by 30, or by 23, that is. Inbound to Brody. Brody flirting with a 5-second call, finally gets it away. Driving with it and losing it is Coffee. Loose ball's picked up there and scooped outside. That Pierce had it. Now on the right side, there's a three-pointer. It's off, no good. And that was Atkins on the three-point attempt. And let's see. And there's a
12. Stanfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you call for a foul?
I didn't call it. They did.
I said you did. What she called for? A foul.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see the signal. Kind of hard to concentrate. Here's a shot on the goal on the right side. It's off, no good. Rebound taken in the corner and coming out with it and dribbling it down the floor is Riley Strickland. That was Atkins on the rebound. Driving in, putting up a banker right in front of the lip of the rim is Molly Pierce. She gets two. And the Tigers' lead is 25 now. 3:27 left to go. Ball stolen away, picked up by Pierce. Pierce will dribble it into the forecourt, gets in a little trouble, passes it off. Here's Stanfield for three. Oh, my. Mackenzie Stanfield knocked the bottom out from about 25 feet. And it will be Lion basketball now down by 28. And a whistle and a foul is going to be called. And they're going to call it on the Tigers. I don't know which one that was. Okay, 11, that's Stanfield.
No, they caught it on them. We got the basketball.
No, it should have been. Okay, I can't tell who's going to get the ball right there next to the line bench. Now the Tigers get it, so it's going to be the foul's going to be on Hedden, her second. All right. Down the floor come the Tigers. Go on the left wing. Pierce with it. Outside. And that was Michaela Stanfield?
Yes.
Okay. There were two Tigers right there next to each other, and they put it up. And the three-pointers gives the Tigers now a 31-point lead. The line player backing her way down to the low post on the right side. Loose ball, a whistle, and a foul is going to be called. And it's going to be called on Baxter. 42-11 with 2:22 left to go here in the third. I think they're probably going to start running the clock if we can do that interstate. I don't recall if we have in the past. Tigers work it. With it is Pierce. Pierce circles from left to right, takes it down on the baseline, lays it up and in. Molly Pierce. Nice looking move. Got it high enough on the board to go straight into the cotton. And they come down the floor, lines lose it. Loose ball in the corner and a held ball. I don't know. Maybe it's stripped away there by Atkins before the held ball call could be made. And Strickland will dribble it across the timeline, have it knocked out of her hands. Tiger ball with 1:45 into the game. Comes Ramsey, and out comes Katie Atkins. .142 now. There's a lob underneath the Ramsey. Ramsey in the corner. Dishes it out. Three-pointer put up by Mackenzie Stanfield. Off, no good rebound. Fought for. Strickland goes to the mat with Garner. Held ball call. Give it to the Tigers. 1:33 left to go. Tigers have it out baseline, left side of the lane. Inbounding will be Stanfield. Gets it in and an easy layup up and good. And that was Molly Pierce. Gets her 6th point on the game. And it's 46-11. Tigers drive, or rather the Lions drive into the lane. Quick foul call. It's going to be on McKaylee Stanfield. And McKaylee Stanfield gets her 2nd personal foul. 46-11 now. 1:20 left to go in the 3rd. Driving in the lane goes Hedden. Hedden loses the ball. It's going to be picked up. And we travel. They didn't blow the whistle. I think they're awfully loose on this. And for a good reason. Across the timeline comes Stanfield. Stanfield drives the baseline, goes under for the shot.
Good.
Missed it.
Good follow.
Stick back by Kylie Jo Ramsey. She gets 2. Just about every Lady Tiger that's played tonight is on the board with some points. 48-11. Loose ball almost gets away. Retrieved by the Lions. Chest pass is going to hit a line and comes off. Quick pass down and a layup by Mackenzie Stanfield. And the Tigers add to the Lions' misery right now, 50-11. Now there's timeout on the floor. Timeout with 31.3 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a pause here for 30 seconds. We'll be right back. Most critical timeout I've ever seen called in a basketball game. With 31.3 seconds left to go in the 3rd period, they needed to talk.
Well, he didn't want anybody to say, you never called timeout. So he just did.
50-11.
You know, we've shot the basketball well, though, regardless. I mean, you still got people on you, still got people guarding you, and you have to run your offense.
Hitting a three-pointer to three-pointer, whether anybody's guarding you or not.
Well, they're not doing a very good job underneath, and we're taking advantage of that, but still shooting the ball well.
So the Lions look like they're in a stall. Stall as they back it up and dribble it outside. 9 seconds, and they're going to dribble it off their foot, but they're going to say that Mackenzie Stanfield somehow touched that ball. I don't know how that was possible, but the Lions get the basketball. Inbound, shot a little high on the backboard, won't go. 4 seconds. Held ball, stopping the clock with 3.5 seconds remaining in the 3rd period. And the Lions will have it with perhaps a last shot. Let's see. Inbounding finally and scoring at the buzzer is Darcy Brody. Good for her. So 50-13 going to be your, or 50-11. I'm sorry, I added 2 more. 50-11 is your 3rd quarter score. We got 1 more quarter to go. So now they move it to 13. I thought I was right. So we'll be back in 60 seconds. Stay with us. All right, time for the fourth quarter to get underway here with the Tigers leading 50-13 and having the basketball to boot here to begin the final stanza. Starting for the Tigers in the fourth quarter, Strickland. She takes it on the right side, tries a little bank shot, didn't go. Rebound, Lions there on the attack. Here's a three-pointer on the other end, off, no good. Rebound, Callahan had it, and then she tied up with two of the Brooks Lions.
Two of them and one of her own.
Yeah, at least two teams, maybe three teams involved in that one. Inbound, driving, stuck underneath is Brody. Brody in there for about 10 seconds and finally moved out and then lost it out of bounds, touched last by the Lady Tigers. Don't forget, boys game follows this one, coming your way in just a few minutes. Here's a shot off, no good. Rebound handled momentarily by Holt, and then she lost it out of bounds. Give it to the Tigers. Davis, Ashton Davis dribbles across or to the timeline. Has to redouble her steps. Goes to Strickland. Down in the corner now to Gamble. Gamble drives. Gets it underneath to Callahan, who was all alone. She laid it up and in, and Clara Callahan is now in double figures with 10. 52-13. It'll be interesting to see if they stop the clock at all this period. Driving outside, here's a steal by Callahan. Clara off to the races. Stops, dishes it out. Hardin for three on the right side, no good. Callahan had it for a second, lost it. Rebound picked up by the Lions, and they're moving toward the other end, the south end of the gym here. Here's a three-pointer off the left side. No good. Rebound taken down by Hardin. And now there's timeout on the floor, I'm thinking, or maybe there's just
substitutions is what they're doing.
And the clock is stopped, so they're obviously. Now he said keep the clock rolling. I don't know whether they'll start that or not. Perhaps he meant after this timeout's over. But the Lion coach has got his players down on the back half of the court and finally frees them, and we'll have basketball action starting right now. Strickland down in the corner to Stanfield. Back outside now to Miller. Miller underneath to Atkins. Pass gets away, gets into the backcourt. Taken there by a Lion, and jumping hook that's off, no good. Touched last by a Tiger. I want to say that it was Miller who touched it last, but they will give it to the Lions baseline underneath their own bucket. Inbound. And taking it's Coffee. Coffee, turnaround jumper won't go. Follow, no good. Finally saved in bounds. Coming up with it is Atkins. Atkins gets it over now. To Strickland on the right wing. Three-pointer in and out there by Miller. And the stick back is going to be up and good by Katie Atkins. So it's 54-13. Tigers in control. Clock, I think, running full time now. 4:40 left to go in the fourth period. On the right side, dribbling is Coffee. She drives, puts it up, off, no good. Rebound, take it down by Pierce. Pierce, clear out, pass, down underneath. Miller goes up for the shot, won't go, but she's fouled. And indeed, the clock is running full time. I didn't catch who the foul was on, but it's inconsequential, so let's let Katie Atkins go to the line and shoot two. First one's good.
That's Miller.
Oh, I thought that was three. Oh, 32. Okay, you're right.
There is a three there.
All right, so Hannah Miller hits two. Let's just put it that way. Thanks for the correction. I needed that.
Well, there may be a grandparent listening somewhere.
That's right. We don't want to mess it up.
Or watching. They can see our
Yeah.
our
I know it.
mistakes.
They'll know when I mess up.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a offensive end spell here for the Lions, and a traveling call will end that. And the clock running down continually at 3:20 now. Inbounds goes to Strickland, and she traveled with the basketball. She caught it on a run and was trying to turn and took an extra step. And unfortunately for us, the official there knew the difference. And it will be Lion basketball with 3 minutes left to go. Clock running. Inbound. Taken, that is Brody. She backs it all the way out about 8 feet outside the circle. Drives down to the low post on the right side. Shot put up by Garner's no good. A whistle and a foul called. Garner's going to go to the line to shoot 2. And first shot is off the front rim, no good. (56-13) to score. Tigers assured of a W in the book here. Second shot by Garner's up and good. So it's 56-14. And across the timeline comes McKaylee Stanfield. Over to Strickland at the high post, right side. On the left, down in the corner to Stanfield.
That's good.
Give and go. And taking it up for the score is Riley Strickland. She gets 2 on the night thus far. 1:39 left. Timeout call. Timeout called by Brooks. We'll take a 1-minute time out and be right back. So the timeout comes to a close with 1:39 left to go in the game. And the Tigers, all substitute players, young ladies getting their opportunity to get some official varsity playtime. And extremely important experience. Here's a pass underneath. Going in for a layup is going to be Brody. Brody hits the shot. She's also fouled. And the foul is going to be on Miller. And the free throw is off, no good. Rebound taken down by the Lions, though. And they are working with 54 seconds remaining. Outside is Brody on the right side now. They go to Mannering. And steal is taken away there by Stanfield. And down in the corner on the right side, and Miller goes with a three-pointer from downtown.
That was a pretty sweet stroke right there.
Waynesboro, and hits the three. And with 21 seconds, it's 61-16. We got an inversion here. As looks like they're going to be content to dribble it outside, maybe go for one shot. 4 seconds. 3-2. They'll never get a shot off now. That's the end of the ball game. 61-16 will be the final score for Evermore. And the Lady Tigers move to 1-2 on the season. And they will be hosting, Corinth on Tuesday, a week from tonight. No, I'm wrong. It's Central. I was right the first time. Central Heights is coming up on the 29th, a week from tonight.
Yeah, it's good to get a first win and a lot of playing time for everyone out there. And, that's important minutes right there to be in a ball game regardless of what kind of game it was. It's just being out there in front of the crowd, getting, the nerves out of you. And we started shooting the ball very well, especially from the second quarter on.
Well, it was a mismatch from the start, and again, it's a good practice session, I think. But like you said, it's going to be important down the road to have some of those pressure minutes, so that if you get put into the game in the middle of the district tournament, you will have some experience behind you to back you up. So that is an important thing to build as well. So the final score is 61-16. Lady Tigers triumph, and we'll move on down the road to Central a week from tonight. Don't forget, boys action starts here in about 11 minutes and 13 seconds. So stay with us here on K93, or better yet, get on down here to the gym and cheer on these Tigers as they take on the Lions from Brooks in Killen, Alabama. We'll be back in a few minutes here after these words from our sponsors. Stay with us.
All right, welcome back to Michaela Welch Gymnasium as the Lady Tigers won 61-16 over the Lady Lions from Brooks, Alabama. Coming up, it's the Tigers and the Lions in the nightcap as the Tigers going for win number 2. They got a win last week over Tishomingo and 1-1 on the season, so looking for win number 2. Brooks coming in here. Not sure what their record is. Should be a good ball game, though. Very competitive type game. And two teams, as far as what I see on the floor, pretty similar. So let's take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have the opening tip here in about 5 minutes from Michaela Welch Gymnasium. You're listening to Hardin County Basketball right here on 93.5 FM.
All right, one down, one to go here. Lady Tigers win 61-16 tonight, and the men will start their game here in just a minute as we head into the nightcap for the evening. Let's quickly run down the scoring here for the Lady Tigers in that big victory tonight, which it extends their record to 1-2 now. If I can get the sheet to come up here. Hang on on my little laptop here as we get set. The Tigers, that is, are getting their warm-ups in, as the Lions are as well. Looking for the Lady Tigers tonight, leading scorer in the game, as I finally got it up here, was Clara Callahan with 10 points. She was followed by a couple by Haley Hardin with 9. There's several with 6. Molly Pierce had 6. Ashton Davis had 6. Some with 5 here. McKaylee Stanfield, Mackenzie Stanfield, both of them scored 5 points each. Also, Hannah Miller had 5. Lots of names on the scoring tonight that we don't normally see because they don't get in the game long enough. But Katie Atkins had 4. Bailey Gamble had 3. Played limited tonight. I'm thinking that maybe she might have been a little under the weather tonight. She came out of the game early and only spotty a presence from that point. Neely Barrier had 4. Kylie Joe Ramsey had 2. Riley Strickland had 2. And I think that got everybody in that. So hopefully I did. If I didn't, I beg your indulgence. But 61-16 is the final score. We've got boys action ready to go here with 25 seconds, and then we'll get to see how that game is going to match up.
Yeah, looking forward to the game. Just watching both teams, comparing the two teams size-wise. We look about the same. They look pretty athletic out there. They were shooting the ball pretty well. So this will be another one of those games that will be highly competitive. They'll be well coached, and we'll see how it comes out.
And you mentioned for a game this time of the year during the holidays, this has been well attended.
Yeah, good crowd. Of course, there's a lot of college students in. They're out. People coming in for the holidays, and really nice crowd for a Tuesday night for sure.
All right, starting lineups. First coming out for the Lions is Maddox, Hardin Maddox. And also Hendren Hunter. Swainer Draven. Or that's Draven Swainer, I'm sorry. And now the lights go out, so I'll have to get the other for you. After the introduction of the Hardin County Central High School Tigers, head coach Ryan Geyer, Brandon Kirk, and Rob Parson, assistant coaches. And Duke Samples will be the first starter. Followed by Wheeler Wilkes. Samples a junior, Wilkes a senior. Next is J.T. Smith, a junior. Tanner Davis, a junior. And senior Caleb McGee, the final starter for the Tigers tonight. School has been out all week this week, so hats off to those students who came in tonight from their holiday festivities to support the Tigers. And jumping center for the Tigers tonight is Tanner Davis. Taps it out, but it's going to be controlled by the Lions. They'll take it up and score on the first possession. And I don't have that young man's name on my roster. Here's a pass down in the corner. With it is Wheeler Wilkes. He'll take a three-pointer off the right side. It's off, no good. And the Lions take an early 2-0 lead, and they have the basketball. With it now is Swainer. Swainer on the left side of Hardin. Back to Swainer, drives in, has about a 3-foot jumper, won't go, got his own rebound. Missed it, but a whistle and a foul is going to be called on his second attempt at a follow. Going to be on Samples, his first, team's first, game's first. And to the line goes Hardin, shooting 2. First one's good. Apparently this game's going to be much more competitive. 3-0 now, Lions. Second shot's off, no good. Rebound taken down by the Lions. Coming up with it now is Ashley. Outside, a three-pointer put up and good by Draven Schwainer. And it's 6-0. Wilkes has it, head of the key. On the left side, here's a three-pointer that's off and no good. Driving and getting the layup and drawing a foul too is going to be Tanner Davis. So Davis gets the deuce. He goes to the line. And I did not see who the foul was on. But
that's Tanner's game, really. He's good to the basket. He's long and lengthy.
And there's a free throws up and good as well. So Tigers cut the lead in a half. They're down by 3 now, 6-3. Here's a steal at midcourt. Coming out with it is Davis. Davis has it momentarily. Bounces it outside. Now with it, J.T. Smith on the right side. Now to Wilkes. Wilkes tries to penetrate. Backs off. Back outside now to Smith. Smith to Wilkes. They're playing catch on the wing. Right at 6 minutes left to go in the first. Tigers down 6-3. With it now is Wilkes in the lane. 7-foot floater, no good. Rebound, tapped away, picked up there by McGee. McGee in the corner, shot off, no good by Smith. Another follows, no good, and now a loose ball and a foul is going to be called on McGee. That looked a lot like a hell ball to me, but
kind of starting out the same way we've been starting out, just cold offensively.
Got it across the timeline, 4 and 3-pointers put up. It's off, no good. They're getting a lot of offensive rebounds too. Here's the next shot. It's off, no good. Rebound this time is going to be taken down by Smith. He'll dribble it up the floor. The Lions dressed in black with white trim. Driving, jumping, and missing is Davis on the right side. Another three-pointer by Wilkes. It's off, no good, and a whistle and a foul called. It's going to be called on Chandler Patton. His first, team second. Inbound it to Sample. Now there's a traveling call called on Sample. And they're going to give it to the Lions in the backcourt. 5 minutes left to go here in the first period. The Brooks High School Lions are leading 6-3. Driving layup, put up, got it to fall too. I didn't think he had a prayer in that, but he's going to draw the foul as well. That's going to be on Wilkes. Tyler Ashley gets the the 2, and then follows that with the 3-point play, and now it's 9-3. So Tigers work it to Smith in the corner on the right side. Back outside now. Samples has a 3, instead penetrates, dishes out to Smith. Smith for 3. Won't go. Rebound taken down by Schwainer, and a whistle and a foul call.
That's foul.
That's on Davis.
Davis, yep.
Yeah. And we'll start back on D. We've got to get some O going here pretty soon, down 9-3. Driving, bank shot, going to score so quick I couldn't pick up his number. And that was Schwainer. He just took it from left to right through the lane and laid it up off the glass, and it's 11-3. Tigers have it down. Pass. It's a loose ball, kicked underneath, and Wilkes is there underneath, wide open, lays it up and in.
And good pass by McGee.
So with it outside is Ashley. On the left wing now to Hardin. He drives in, stops in the paint to Swainer. Drives in, tries to bounce pass it in the lane, gets kicked around, finally touched last. Out of bounds by the Tigers with 3:47 left to go. Into the game comes Jackson Burdine. In comes Tylen Irvin. And the Lions take it in. A three-pointer, rims out no good. Irvin with the
That's got to be a
rebound.
foul.
Is they're going to call a foul on Henry. That's his first, team's third, and Tigers will take it out in the backcourt with Burdine. And he's just stolen full court pressure and an easy bucket. It's going to turn into a 13-5 lead now. As going up with it is Hardin. And now the Tigers working against the press. They get it to McGee at midcourt. Now it's with J.T. Smith. They're going to call him for traveling.
Well, a lot of floor mistakes and turnovers here in the first.
Tigers got to get untracked. They're down by 8 right now and not making much progress. Inbounds. There goes Lions throwing it completely away. And I mean,
he zigged and he thought he was going to zag. So
it went directly out of bounds. Didn't pass go. 3:19 left now. 13-5. Tigers down by 8. Burdine with it. Stops. Kicks it out to Irvin. Back to Burdine. Nearing the 3-minute mark. Burdine drives in, slides under it. Little razzle-dazzle layup, and he laid it up and in. That was reminiscent of his old man right there. Now here's a steal by Medley, or rather by Samples. And going in for the shot is Samples. And the whistle call. That's Garrett Smith, rather, not Samples. And Smith's going to go to the line, shoot 2. First shot is good. He didn't hit the basket, but he sure drew the foul and got the crowd involved with it. Second shot, got them both. If you're going to get fouled, make it count, son. 2:48, and Irvin's going to pick up a foul reaching in on full court pressure. That'll be his first. And our 5th team foul, so we're not looking that good in the 1-and-1 with 2 minutes left in the, almost 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Lions work it up the floor. They get it to Cox. On the left side, here's a three-pointer. It's off no good by Ashley. Ball stripped away. And the foul is going to be on Tanner Davis, his second, to the line. Will go. If he'll turn his back here, I'll go. But Omar Joyner, first shot is off, no good. Second shot, in and out, no good. Burdine with the rebound. So it's 13-9 now. Tigers bringing it across the floor. It's lost on the sideline, touched last by the Lions, and with 2:21 left to go in the first, the Tigers take it out, down only by 4 now. Pass over on the left wing, and Garrett Smith dribbled it out of bounds. Just looked to pass, and the ball didn't meet his fingers right and bounced right off into the maroon trim. Give it to the Lions. They'll work it up against the half-court press. They got it across the timeline to Hardin. Hardin drives in the lane, goes to the basket, lays it up and in. Man, he's impressive with that move. And I don't know if we can stop him. Burdine dribbles up the floor, loses it, stolen away. Driving with it and trying to take it down low with Swainer, but he had it batted away, and a whistle and a foul is going to be called. Foul is going to be called on Garrett Smith. They're saying that's his second. So, first shot on a 1-and-1 is up and good. And Swainer's on the line. First shot's good. Second one up. Got it too. So 17-9. Tigers gave back a couple of points of that lead. Irvin across the timeline tries to go underneath to Smith on the baseline. Garrett, that is. It's through his hands, but touched last, they say, by the Lions with 1:39 left to go in the first period. Down 17-9. Here's a steal. Carson Phillips is in the game for the Tigers now. There's a hell ball here. Irvin and Swainer kind of have a tete-a-tete there in the backcourt. Looked like it was going to get physical for a second.
Little chippy out there. It's good to see. Of course, that's one of our football players, so he's probably still got a little of that in him.
I'm sure he does. Out comes Irvin, and in comes Samples. And here's a pass that's it is thrown away, and the Lions have it back. Justin Cox with it. Now to Hardin. Hardin spin move, gets underneath, and catches Wilkes midair, and Wilkes fell on top of him. And that's going to be his second foul.
Tell you what, he's been a hard one to handle for our defense.
1:22 remaining. Hardin has now got 5 points, but Swainer has got 7. And let's see. To the line goes Hardin, shooting 1-and-1. First shot's good.
I'll say this about them. They're aggressive, Bill. I mean, when they get the basketball in their hands, and they're aggressive on the defensive side, too.
It's a good basketball team, I'm telling you right now.
They don't have a big bench over here if you could get them worn out a little bit, but.
Second shot's off. Rebound taken down and picked up there by Garrett Smith. On the left side, they go to Samples. Samples goes underneath, and the ball gets loose. And another turnover, Justin Cox. And it's really like a turnover that's unforced. As the Lions work down on the baseline, he'll snap it outside to Cox. Cox, now a three-point shot ahead of the key. It's off, no good. Rebound. And they collapsed on Nathan Nesbitt, who's checked in for the Tigers. Hammered him. And I didn't see who the foul was on. But the Tigers take it out baseline with Smith and Samples handling the ball.
We're just throwing it
throw
everywhere.
it away. They're thrown away again. This time stolen by the Lions, and now there's a timeout call. Timeout call by the Brooks Lions head coach. As 36 seconds left to go here in the first period. 18-9. Tigers down. We'll be back in 30. Under 40 seconds left to go in the first period, and things don't look that good for the Tigers right now as they're down by 9. I know that's not a lot, but this is an aggressive team, not very big at all. As a matter of fact, I think we'd stack up well lined up head to head, but they are athletic and a half. And they've called timeout. Now they have it, and they're driving in the lane. Going in and putting up the shot is Hardin. Hardin missed it. Rebound's taken down by Phillips, and he's going to be fouled from behind, which is going to put him on the line, shooting 1-1 with 24 seconds left to go. And the foul is going to be on Hardin. I show that as his first, but who knows? And Phillips steps up. Carson Phillips, a junior, knocks down the first free throw. He's officially on the board. The Tigers will cut the lead to 8 and make it 7 with another one of those charity shots. Got it. Yes. 18-11 now. 23 seconds. Let's see if the Lions want to stall it for one final shot here in the first quarter. With it is Braden Thompson. Now on the right wing, way outside. 6 seconds down, and here's a three-pointer at about 4 seconds. Rebound taken down by the Tigers. And then stolen away by the Lions and almost hit a two-point layup at the buzzer, but he missed it. So that's the end of the first quarter of play, and the Tigers trail 18-11. We'll take a 1-minute timeout here for a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Stay with us. All right, the original starting 5 on the floor now to start the second period. And that's going to be Samples, J.T. Smith, also Wheeler Wilkes, Tanner Davis, and Caleb McGee. So Brooks has the ball to begin the second period. Here's a jumper from about 8 feet away on the left side of the lane. It's up and good by Swainer. He's got 9 now. And a deft touch on the basketball. That floated into the basket. Now the Tigers get it over Davis. Davis tries to toss it into McGee. It's stolen away. Picked up by Joyner. Off now to Swainer. Swainer gets it over to Ashley. Here's a jumper. It's off no good. And it's going to go out of bounds. Touch last by the Lions. Give it to the Tigers with that opportunity to saw into this 9-point lead. 20-11. Brooks ahead. Lob under to McGee. Too high. McGee can't reach it. Stolen away. Lions going running. Driving. Putting up a shot. And a charge is going to be called on Braden Thompson. And the Tigers get a break there. They got to quit throwing the ball away. J.T. Smith comes out of the game. In comes Burdine. Burdine on the dribble, right side. Looking for some help. Gets it to McGee into the McGee turns, fires, scores. That's what we got to do a lot of. because Caleb can hit those shots if we just get the ball down there to him. Now there's a fracas there at midcourt where we double teamed and almost stole it away from Cox. It's out of bounds. Touched by a Tiger. Give it to Brooks. They break the press, get it down on the left side. Jumpers off, no good. Rebound taken down by Samples. Samples to Burdine on the right side. Burdine kicks it into the corner. Wilkes has it. They call him for traveling. My goodness. My goodness.
How many turnovers have we had
I
so
don't know.
far? How many unforced turnovers have we had?
Got to be at least double figures, or way beyond. 20-13. Down the floor they go to Cox. Here's a shot in the corner for three. Oh, Bottom City as Swainer hits the three. And he was in the deep corner. There's a steal at midcourt. Off to the races for the easy layup is Justin Cox. And this is getting to be a laugher if we don't settle down here. 25-13, down by 12. Burdine on the left side of Davis. Davis stops high post left side. Now kicked out to Burdine. He'll drive in, get it underneath, and it's stripped away from McGee before he could make the shot, but no foul called. And now they're saying, what did they call it?
It was out of bounds on us. We stepped on the inbound lines. But what a feed by Jackson into McGee and a good defensive play, too.
Well, they had a hand in it right in the middle of it. So McGee never had a chance on that one. Here's a shot or slap down in the corner to Patton. Now a three-pointer off the left side. No good. Rebound taken down by Irvin. Irvin to Burdine. Burdine back to Irvin. Irvin in the lane, drives in, puts it off the glass. Oh, we should have got that. McGee on the left side. Here's Davis for three. No good. Rebound, McGee. Outside, beyond three-point range on the right wing. Now to Wilkes. Around to Irvin, who is on the left wing. Irvin splits a double team, goes to the floor, loses it. It's going to be picked up by Joyner. And the Lions come down the floor. Swainer with it. The right side to Cox. Cox goes in, picks it up, a shot partially blocked by Davis and lost out of bounds. They say touch last by the Lions. Give it to Hardin County. We got to wake up. We are playing like we're half asleep. 4:41. Maybe we should have given them some turkey early this year. Burdine on the right side. Now, and Wilkes loses it or has it stripped away. The held ball is called, and it's going to be Tiger basketball on the alternation. But that's the victory for the Lions because we had the ball to begin with. Inbound to Davis, stolen away. Undercutting him was Swainer and just took it away from him.
Well, you got to be stronger than that. I mean, you got to feel him on the back of you. And
now there might have been a foul involved there, but it wasn't a hard foul. It wasn't a hard foul, and you can't depend on that. Swainer has on the dribble on the left wing now, on the offensive end. They get it over to Patton. Patton gets it now to Hardin. Here's a shot for three off the right side. Burdine gets the rebound inside. He's running. Stops on the right wing. Goes to McGee. The high post, right side. Now to Wilkes for three. Essen's going to hit the framework and practically hit the bricks. Bounced hard off the rim. Caromed around behind the backboard. And now there's timeout on the floor. Timeout. Brooks with 3:44 left to go in the second period. We'll be back in 30 seconds. (25-13), 3:44 left to go, second period, and it has not been a pretty picture for the Tigers here. Lady Tigers win 61-16, but that was a long time ago. And the mood has changed here. As the Lions work it across the timeline, they get it to the head of the key. Working with it is Cox. It goes left wing to Swainer. Swainer over to Medley. Didn't call his name much tonight. To Hardin. Hardin, here's a three-pointer. You just said if they start hitting three-pointers, we're in trouble. Well, Peyton Chandler just hit a three from, looked like from Olive Hill.
Yeah, it's his second.
And Irvin has it. Thought he had traveled with it, but I think it was touched by a Lion, and he's got it back in the corner now, driving the baseline, tries to pass it out and hits the back of the backboard. You name the foul up that you can do, we've done it tonight.
He just got in trouble over there on the baseline. I mean,
he threw it and hit the back of the back.
Yeah.
How often do you see that, though? Okay, number 24, Caden Agee. Substitute, gets it into Swainer. Now to Hardin. Outside now to Ashley. Making a circle around the loop is Patton rather. And the ball is going to be slapped out of bounds. Touched last by the Tigers, and Brooks will take it out underneath their own basket with 2:27 left to go in the first half of play. 28-13, Tigers down. And right now getting whooped. Hardin drives in, kicks it out in the corner. Here's a three, and man, we got to guard that guy. He is unconscious as Patton hits his third three there. And it's 31-13. There's that inversion again. Hardin on the left side. Smith. Burdine, head fakes, drives, 8-foot shot, missed it. Rebound, got his own. Now on the left wing. In a circle, right side. Smith feigns a three, instead goes in the corner. Now to McGee. He's in the lane, fadeaway jumper, 3 feet, got it. Fadeaway jumpers from 3 feet will get it almost every time. 31-15. Tigers need some inspiration here. There's a shot down out to Patton. Now they get it to Swainer, that is. Back to Patton. He goes to Hardin on the left wing, back outside now, around on the other side is Swainer. Now to Hardin. Swainer dribbles into the lane, picks it up, kicks it out. Here's another three by Patton. And this guy's unconscious. 34-15. It's your fault. You said if they start hitting threes.
Well, he's the only one hitting them, though. He's the only one we're not guarding.
Who cares? He's got the right color uniform.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, he's
Smith gets it to Burdine. And Burdine tries to go underneath and to Garrett Smith. Garrett had it for a second, but it got knocked away. These guys are physical.
Yeah, that's what they're doing to us. We just can't handle it right now.
I bet we've got a bruise on everybody on the team.
Yeah, they're getting after us.
Swainer outside, 13 seconds, 12 seconds.
Better find 14.
We probably need a half. And there's a driving layup with 5 seconds left and going in and practically dunking the Tigers. Was Hardin with a layup, and it's 36-15 at halftime.
Well,
that's not what I expected.
Well, I told you the last time they were here, they were well coached. They were a good basketball team. They showed it tonight. They're the aggressor, and we just didn't handle it very well in the first half. We didn't shoot it very well in the first half either. So combination of that, we turned it over, I guess, I would say, in double digits in the first half, the turnovers plus some mental mistakes. And the aggressive play caused a lot of that. I mean, it makes you speed up. It makes you do things that you don't want to do. And then 14 starts lighting it up. And I know when you bring out a kid with nice hair and not a basketball body, and he sits out there and pumps them, you better find him. It's just like having that red-headed kid that, doesn't look like he ought to be on the team, and then he fills it up for about 40 every night.
Yeah, that's what you got. You pretty well described it, but it looked like we were just a little bit flat in the early going, and once I think we gave them a little bit of momentum that they took advantage of, and they have continued to build on it. And that's something that I know that Coach Geyer and his assistants are going to be talking about at halftime, a game plan to come out in the second half and do something different that changes that momentum, because right now the Lions have got it.
Well, the one thing Ryan can't do is shoot for us. And so I don't know how you fix that. You just keep shooting and hopefully get some good looks.
Our problem hadn't been so much shooting in my estimation. It's coughing the ball up.
Well, I'm just saying we're not hitting open threes when we have them. They're going in and out. Wheeler's had a rough start.
Probably count on one hand how many three-pointers we took, though.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing, if you remember from Thursday night, really what made us successful is getting it inside to Caleb, let it start there, and then
kick it out.
Yeah, either way, play that inside-out game.
When we did that well.
Right.
We just didn't do it. We didn't have the opportunity to do it often enough because we kept throwing it away, and that has to do with their aggressive defense. So,
yeah.
So you can talk about it all you want, but the situation was created by the Lions, not so much by.
Oh yeah, they're a good basketball team.
36-15, the halftime score. We'll take a pause here for a word from our sponsors. We'll be back after this. Stay with us here on K93. (36-15) is the halftime score, and I hope your Thanksgiving and family gatherings go better than the Tigers have gone so far tonight. And I know they're coming back in the second half, and they're going to impress us all with a come-from-behind victory. Once a Tiger, always a Tiger, and I guess that goes for me. So, but right now it looks like, as we talked before we went on the break, that they're being outplayed. And, you know, what does a coach do to change it? I'm thinking probably some more full-court pressure. A dogged change in the aggressiveness that we're displaying on the floor. I remember my old basketball coach; he would have chewed us up and down for letting them strip the ball away from us.
Yeah.
We work in practice all the time about keeping control of the basketball, and you let these guys slap it out of your hands. I don't know if that's what he'll be doing, but I would think it would be in order.
Well, yeah, and, you know, like we were talking about there, you know, the aggressor wins, and they've been aggressive, and we got to come up with an answer for that. I don't know if we start pressing them a little bit, but they're very quick. Their point guard, he's very good. He penetrates well, and he's trying to dish it out and get these three-point shots in play, which they have to 14. But, you know, it's not a hurdle that you can't overcome, especially if we get hot from outside. So,
well, I'm certainly no expert on, but I've seen an awful lot of basketball in my time. But I'm thinking that Davis and Wilkes need to be moving inside more often and get around that basket for rebounds, because I don't see them in there. And it's all McGee's having to do all the rebounding, and they're concentrating on that three-point shot, which is not a high percentage shot. I don't care what team you're playing. A three-point shot's not a high percentage. Now, sometimes it makes that up when you are having a good night. But when you're not having a good night, you got to do something different.
Well, Tanner's good, too, to the basket, and that's what I've been saying the last watching him play, and even going back to last year, he can go to the basket and do some things. Like I said, he's long. He's got long arms. He's about 6'3". He's got good hops, and he can make things happen underneath the basket. Wheeler, he's just got to find his shot. He's struggled a little bit starting off this season. But, he's a veteran. He'll find it. It's early in the season, but sure would like for him to find it here in the second half for sure.
Well, I was looking at the lineup height-wise, and we have superior height across the board on both teams. So, I would think moving either one of them or both of them down into a low post and put McGee out at the high post and see if they can't do something crashing those boards, because they're getting all the offensive rebounds. They're getting most of the defensive rebounds.
Yeah.
You can't win when that happens.
Well, they're overplaying everything, and so when you do that, they're a scrappy bunch. They're going after every loose ball. They're going after every pass. They're trying to get a hand in there some way or another, trying to bump us around, and it's been effective. And we got to figure out that we can't dribble into them. I mean, they got quick hands. They're going to take it away from you. So we'll see.
Well, no question that we got our hands full. Let's take a quick pause for a word from our sponsor. We'll come back in 60 seconds for the second half. Stay with us. (36-15) the halftime score, and Brooks will be inbounding with possession of the basketball to begin the third period. Inbound, they go to Swainer, or rather that's Ashley. Tyler Ashley by name. Now to Swainer. Swainer drives, tries to bank it off the left side, no good rebound, and there inside is Davis. Got the rebound, gets the kick out to J.T. Smith. Now on the baseline, running jumper. It's off and no good by Wilkes. And the Lions get the rebound. Across the timeline comes Ashley. Dribbling in the lane, goes up over the fingers of Davis and scores. That was a nifty move there by Sweener down the lane. And it's 38-15. Pass underneath. McGee spins, moves, lays it off the glass and scores. There you go. Now you're cooking with natural gas. Across the timeline, they get it over to Patton. Here's a steal. Picking up is going to be Samples. Good move by Duke Samples. Tigers got it back and can cut into this lead. Now is the time to get the mojo working, guys. JT on the right side. Quick hands there by Ashley. He maintains it. Now they go to Davis. Tanner Davis on the left side, drives in the lane, stops, 8-foot jumper, back rim, got the follow, scores, and he's fouled. Now that's more like it. Tanner Davis gets the deuce. Foul is going to be on Henbren, his second. And to the line goes Tanner Davis for the three-point play. That can cut this lead to 18. You missed it. Rebound. Taken down by the Lions. No one under there but Cox. Down the floor they go in the corner. Goes out of bounds. Davis was trying to get a steal. It goes into the student section. Give it to Brooks. Now Ashley dribbling on the left wing. Tigers in a 2-3 zone. Ashley outside. Now a three-pointer off the left wing, off no good. Rebound McGee. Tigers had the basket covered that time. Across the timeline. They get it over to Davis. Tanner Davis to JT Smith, stops in the lane, has a shot, doesn't take it. Davis drives in the lane, puts up the shot, is going to get called for the charge. He went in there with reckless abandon and paid the price, and that's his third. He'll come to the bench. Into the game comes Garrett Smith. Cox with it. Down in the corner now to Sweener. Back outside on the other side on the left. And it looked to me like a travel. Yeah. You know, he traveled, I think, and then he looked at the official like, I traveled. And then the official blew the whistle. So that was Justin Cox that got called for the travel there. The Tigers will benefit here with the basketball. Pass underneath to McGee. McGee, baseline, has it tipped away, loses it, loose ball. It looks like it's going to be picked out into the hands of a Lion, and down the floor he goes. He missed the layup. Hardin had his chance and missed the layup. Now the Tigers quickly down. They go to McGee in the corner to Smith, back outside. Here's Wilkes, three, won't go. Rebound. Taken down by Hardin. Down the court, driving shot. No, he kicked it outside. Loose ball. Now they've got control of it. Sweener in the lane, goes in, puts the shot up, got it.
Charge.
And that's going to be Hardin, and Hardin's going to have the basket waved off and call for a charge.
McGee sitting there waiting on him.
So 38-19. 4:38 left to go third. Lots of time, but we got to get untracked. Across the timeline, they go to Sample in the corner. And they're saying,
we threw
it away.
Yep.
I thought maybe, I can't see for the
either that
camera,
or they
the camera
said
in front of me.
Said he stepped on the line, I think.
Anyway, Coach Geyer was not happy. Let's put it that way. Sweener cross to Cox on the left wing. With it now is Thompson. Thompson dribbles back out on the right side now to Hardin. Pass on the left wing. Three was open, but they didn't take it. Driving in, lost it. McGee got a handle on it, got it over now to Smith. Smith is in the forecourt on the right side now. Wilkes stops at the high post, goes back to J.T. Smith. Now with it, Smith goes in the corner. Here's a jumper that for three that's off no good by Wilkes, and Brooks Lions will get the rebound, and they're back on the offensive end. Maddox Hardin with the basketball. Gets it over to Tyler Ashley. Ashley in the corner. Here's a three-pointer off the right side, and it rattled a bit but filled it up. Sweener gets a three. He's got 17 now, leading all scorers. And the Tigers have it stolen away at midcourt, but followed out of bounds by Justin Cox. Cox will go to the bench, and back into the game comes Chandler Patton, the king of the threes thus far tonight. Tigers will have it out in the forecourt, 41-19. They trail with 3 minutes for all intents and purposes left to go in the third period. Burdine in to McGee. Nice bounce pass. McGee gets the soft touch inside. He scores. McGee with 8 now. Tigers putting on half-court trap. Here's a steal by Irvin. Irvin runs into Burdine. Burdine picks the ball up. He's on the attack, drives on the baseline. Outside now to Garrett Smith. Down underneath to McGee. McGee, soft touch. Won't go. Rebound picked up by Cox. Here come the Lions down the floor with 2:16 remaining in the third. Tyler Ashley working against McGee way out in the circle. Drives down the lane. Missed the shot underneath, but will draw the foul on McGee. His second. And to the line goes Tyler Ashley, shooting 2.
They've done a good job going into McGee, but we're getting to the point now with 2 minutes to go, trailing by 20. We're going to have to start hitting from outside if we want to get back in this game.
McGee checks out. Also, J.T. Smith checks out. In comes Nathan Nesbitt and also Carson Phillips. Second free throw is off, no good. Or the first, I guess it was 2, but he missed both of them. Now driving in is Burdine to Irvin. In the left corner now to Nesbitt. Back outside to Irvin on the right wing. Nesbitt in the deep corner right side. Quick pass now to Burdine across the lane. They try to go to Phillips, and it's comes out of there. I'm not sure what it hit, but it obviously touched a Lion last because they're giving the ball to the Tigers side court right in front of the Tiger bench. Burdine round in the corner on the right side, outside to Irvin, head of the key. Pass it underneath to Nesbitt. Nesbitt kicks it out on the right side. Tries to go down the baseline, and the pass either passed or batted away, and it was lost out of bounds and a whistle, I think, and a foul call.
Yeah, they called a charge on Smith, Garrett.
Garrett Smith picked up a charging foul. And into the game comes Caden Agee, or Agee. Agee, I guess probably they call it. I'm having trouble with names, and particularly with the writing, whoever does their scorebook, as a steal almost by Phillips, but saved back by the Lions. And those quick hands, they just can get it back before you know it. Here's a spinning move by Ashley that turns into a turnover. Down the floor goes Davis. Davis puts up the shot, no good, but a whistle and a foul is going to send Tanner Davis to the line.
That's a good spin move. He just forgot to take the ball with him. We got it back, and
20 points the difference now. And Tanner Davis with an opportunity to cut him. He cut it by one. Let's see if he can do another. 1 minute left to go in the third period. 41-22. Second shot off. So he gets one out of those two, and the Lions get the rebound, and they're working it up the floor. There's a into the forecourt on the right side to Ashley. Over to Patton. He can't get a shot off. To Swain. Swain in the lane gets called for traveling on his initial move. And with 43.7 seconds remaining, the Tigers have it in their backcourt with a 19-point deficit. So Jackson Burdine across the timeline on the right wing. Down to Irvin in the corner. Irvin dribbles out closer to midcourt. Goes over on the left to Davis. Tanner Davis drives in, splits a double team, kicks it back outside now to Nesbitt. Over to Burdine. Burdine had it tapped, almost stolen, regains it now to Irvin in the corner for three. No. Rebound. Irvin actually got a hand on it and moved it out. Davis picks it up, gets it back to Irvin. Irvin ducks his head, goes into the lane, puts up a one-hander that went through the net. And I don't know what the call is going to be. Into the game.
It was a foul on somebody on Brooks.
Comes Wheeler Wilkes. A whistle is indeed a foul on somebody on Brooks. But they're going to give it to the Tigers. That's the important thing. Inbound, a three-point shot put up at the buzzer. And that is the end of the third period. The Tigers trail 41-22. And we will be back in 1 minute, see what they can do in the fourth. Eight minutes set on the clock, and the Tigers down 22-41. Hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast. Hardin County High School basketball. Bill Sharp along with Steve Carnell, as we enjoy following the Tigers. Don't we, Steve?
We do.
With it now on the right wing is Wilkes. Wilkes gets it around now to Samples. Back to Wilkes. Ball stripped away. Steal. Down the floor goes Swainer, lays it up and in. So, fourth quarter doesn't start much better than the other quarter so far. As Swainer gets a easy layup. Tigers work it into McGee. McGee has to pass it back outside, and has a three-pointer off the mark. As Wheeler Wilkes uncharacteristically just can't find the range tonight. 43-22 now. 1 minute gone in the fourth. AG. Now to Swainer. Fadeaway jumper. It was almost a three, but it turns out to be a two by Swainer. And the Tigers come down the floor now, trailing 45-22. Here's a three-pointer by Davis off of the right corner. It's no good. Rebound taken, and down the floor they go for. Now they go for the layup. They missed a layup. The coach wanted a goaltending call. and it was under the basket.
Yeah, that's
I don't
what
know
I
how
was
you get
fixing to say.
I don't know how you get a goal because it wasn't through the net; it was outside the rim. Anyway, they're going to give it to the Tigers, and all is well. Here's a three-pointer off the right side, and finally, Wheeler Wilkes is going to find that three he's been looking for all night. Now we got a 20-point game now, 45-25 with 6 minutes left. Stranger things have happened, but we're going to have to turn it around in a big way. Ashley with it to Patton. Back to Ashley. They're dribbling outside. They've got the advantage of the clock, so they're not going to hurry. And as I said that, Ashley uncorks a three, and guess what? He nailed it. So it's 48-25, and the Tigers go now to Davis. Tanner Davis has it stolen away. Here come the Lions and into the forecourt. Down on the baseline with it now is Swainer. Swainer picks up the dribble, passes it out. Almost lost at midcourt into the backcourt, but saving it was Ashley. Ashley in the corner. Here's Patton for three. Not quite as hot on this end of the floor. Rebound, however, is taken down by the Lions to get it, and a driving layup on the baseline is no good. Rebound taken down by Ashley. Driving a jumper by Ashley is good. Oh, my. He's got 8 now, but he should, the way he's playing right now, he should have 100. Now with it is Wilkes. Wilkes on the left side. Tanner Davis back to Wilkes. Wilkes drives in the lane, throws it up from about 5, running, and he hit it. So that's 7 for Wheeler tonight. Now there's a collision at midcourt as J.T. Smith tries to get the steal from Ashley. Now they're down on the left side to Patton. Patton not giving the three for obvious reasons. Now he has it on the left wing down in the corner. Here's a three-pointer that's going to find the way. Oh, my. I didn't think that had a chance. Swainer gets a three-pointer there. He's got 24 now. And the Tigers are down by about that much, 53-27. Here's a pass over to McGee at the high post right side on the left wing. And Samples tries a three from the corner. It's off, no good. Rattled around, had a chance but didn't go. I didn't think that shot a moment ago by Swainer had a chance, but somehow it found a way. Now with Swainer on the right side, down in the corner. With it is Hendren. Driving jumper is going to be up and good. I didn't get the number on that one. 20. Okay, that's going to be on Ashley. That's Ashley. Tigers come back down the floor. They get it. Here's a long three that's off no good. McGee goes over the back and knocks it out of bounds, and that's going to be wholesale substitution for the Tigers. The Lions will have it out in the backcourt. Ben Benson checking in for Hardin County. Also Nathan Nesbitt, Tylen Irvin, Jackson Burdine. And it turns out it's our basketball. We were going to the wrong end of the floor. Also in is Garrett Smith. And we're going to throw it away.
Yeah. We just took our eye off of it as he was making his cut.
3:05 left to go in this game. The Tigers down 55-27. Hope is dwindling.
Yeah, you keep giving them so many extra possessions.
Yeah. The math just doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work out right when you're doing that.
AG gets it over now to Ashley. Ashley stops, guns, 14. No good rebound. Nesbitt to Burdine. Burdine dribbles across the timeline. Puts a double team. Was going to go in for a shot, but had it stripped. I mean, their hands are just everywhere. And the foul's going to be on AG.
They've been coached up, that's for sure. I mean, you go in that lane, you got it seems like 30 pair of hands.
Slapping all the time. And And unless it's just a really hard slap, the officials don't call it.
Yep.
And the Tigers lose it out of bounds. Burdine lost the handle, and it got tapped out, and those hands come in again.
Yeah, it's kind of the way the night's been.
55-27. Who'd have thunk it?
What was it? Mama said there'd be days like this.
There'd be days like this, my mama said. 2:18, driving with it is AG. AG has it stripped. Now our hands get in there as Garrett Smith gets a steal. And will dribble down the floor. Goes over on the right side to Benson. Benson tries to throw it through the lane. Loose ball picked up by Burdine. Benson, a little hook shot on the baseline. No good. Gets the follow. It won't go. No foul call. And the Lions get the rebound on the third shot. 146. Carson Phillips ready to come into the game. Maddox Hardin throws it and actually bounced it off of a dance team member's leg. Fortunately, it was our dance team. It'll be our ball. .130 left to go. Burdine across the timeline, drives in the lane, gets this shot at the basket and scored. That looked good.
Yeah.
And he's fouled. So Burdine gets his fourth point and a chance to add to that from the free throw stripe.
He's going to be fun to watch
Oh,
as
yeah.
he gets more and more comfortable, especially after Christmas.
You can tell he does not like doesn't like to take the long shot. His second shot won't go. Rebound with Carson Phillips, who's in the game now, put up the shot. It was off no good, and Carson was fouled. So Carson Phillips goes to the line. He'll be shooting 2. First shot is off, no good. 1:22 remaining. Lots of Tiger fans sticking around for the end here. Got to hand it to him. Phillips is going to hit 1 out of 2 here. And the Tigers down by 25. Across the timeline comes Hardin. Out to Ashley. Ashley over and driving. Getting is Caden Agee. And I mean, every player on this team can play. I don't know if they're recruiting or what for a school that size, but they can literally play. Burdine had it kicked away, picked up by Irvin. Back to Burdine. Burdine takes a 3. No. Rebound Lions. I'll say that's Medley with the rebound. Take that back. It's Swainer. That's not Swainer. Who is that? That is Hardin.
He's going to dribble it out.
39 seconds. He is
I thought they were.
going right and left dribble and then passes it underneath. Burdine gets caught midair and ends up falling on Joyner. And Joyner's going to get at least a 1-and-1 here, let's see.
He was going to dribble it out in the corner, and for some reason we came up to attack. And
first shot's good. You'll get another.
yeah, they get to add some more on to it.
Yep. Well, the numbers are difference in the score. Not that that's what's important. If I can get that out, it's just that we just haven't played that good of basketball tonight. Burdine in the lane, drives, 8-foot jumper off, no good. Whistle and a foul is going to put him on the line. AG picks up a foul, which is inconsequential. We got 12 seconds left in the game. And Burdine's on the line to shoot 2. First one is in and out, no good. (59-30). 31, he hit the second one. That might be your final score here as they're just kind of walking it down. 7, we back off. They bounce it around. And the ball game's over. It was in doubt for a second as Hardin walked away from the ball. The official standing there looking at it. Son, there's still time on the clock. But that's it, 59-31, the final score. Tigers, yeah, you say it like it is. They got it whooped tonight. This team came to play.
Yeah.
And it didn't look to me like we came to play tonight like we did against Tishomingo.
Well, like I said, they were their aggressive team. They started early. They got after us, and they scored the first 2 points, never looked back. We struggled again shooting from outside. We have got to get that fixed somehow. And the only way you can do it is just keep firing. But going into Caleb seems to be something that is going to be our go-to. But you got to do that early in the game and establish that. You know, Tanner.
Well, it tightens up the defense. It forces them to stay closer to that nucleus, and it gives your long-range shooters more time to set for the shot, and they can be more balanced. Without that, it's trying to hit three-pointers on the run is extremely difficult, and very, very few players can do it. Some can. We just hadn't been able to track those down yet. So,
well, what you can't do in an 8-minute quarter is give them extra possessions, and we did that all night long. I don't know. I'd say at least 25, 30 turnovers maybe in this game. We had some mental mistakes. I mean, it was just stuff where they were on top of us. We really just didn't grab the ball with any kind of strength to where, rip it down and kind of hold on the ball. We were very lazy with the basketball. And then when you give a team like that some extra possessions and you get a score like tonight's final.
Well, I played basketball for 7 years in junior high and high school, and I know what my coach would have us do tonight. We would have stayed. Yeah. Don't bother dressing, boys. We're going back on the floor. That's how you get a player's attention, and I'm not sure that all our players were on the same wavelength tonight. And I base that on what we did against Tishomingo. I thought we played much better, more inspired. Now, obviously, the two teams aren't comparable. Tishomingo nowhere near as good as this team was tonight.
This team is more like Lawrence County.
But you can't let that affect your everyday average operations like dribbling and passing and rebounding and outlet passes and defense. We didn't do well on any of that tonight.
We got to get better, that's for sure, and they will.
No question.
And it's early, and, it's the third game of the season. But still, it's a little bit alarming, our shooting from outside. But that'll come. And, once a shooter like Wheeler gets hot and he finds a range, and then that's when he has one of those 30-point nights or something like that. So,
well, sooner you can turn that on, Steve, I want you to turn it on. Okay, so
I wish I could help.
Let's get that going, okay, because it sounds like a good deal. Looking at the scoring real quick for the lines tonight, Davin Swainer had 24 points to lead all scorers. He was followed by Maddox Hardin with 9. And I'm getting these names as well as I can because I couldn't read the coach's writing. Tyler Ashley is a 9. Chandler Patton hit 3 threes. He had 9. Caden A.G. had 2. And Omar Joyner had 4. Justin Cox had 2 as well. For the Tigers tonight, the leading scorer, Noble in double figures. I think the high score for the Tigers tonight is Wheeler Wilkes with 7. He's followed by Tanner Davis with 6. Jackson Burdine with, Caleb McGee had 8. So he has the high game of the night. He's down at the bottom. I didn't see him. As I said, Tanner Davis had 6. Burdine 5. Carson Phillips had 3. Garrett Smith had 2. And I believe that's about all she wrote. So the final score, 59-31. Lady Tigers win at 61-16 in the opener tonight. Both teams now go to 1-2. And we will be seeing Central Heights, Alabama a week from tonight right here in McCaleb Welch.
Well, there again, we struggled with them last year. So hopefully maybe they had a bunch of seniors and they moved on. So
Well,
we just got to keep getting better, just keep playing, and then
that's all you can do.
Yeah,
I mean,
and then,
you just come out and work hard in practice and refine. I mean, if you don't have a three-point shot by now, you're not going to have a three-point shot between now and the end of the year. But you can hone it down to where you can get back to what you had last year, and it doesn't appear to me like we're there yet. So, but like you said, tomorrow's another day. We'll come back at it, and next Tuesday night we'll see a different ball team for sure. So I'll make your plans to attend the game next week. If you can't make it, be sure to join us here on K93 and live streaming. And give us that address again for the live streaming.
it's on YouTube, channel Slice 93 each and every game.
Okay.
Unless things change between now and then.
All right. You never know how that technology stuff goes. They're not making it like they used to. So, final score again for the boys, 59-31. Girls win 61-16. That about does it for us. So, Steve, unless you've got something else. All right. For my partner here, Steve Carnell, and my old friend Steve Smith, this is Bill Sharp saying good night, Tiger fans. See you next Tuesday. Forgot to say happy Thanksgiving.
You did, man. Everybody's going to hate you now.
I know.